welcome to FPL Banter podcast, midweek podcast. Back with you. We have myself, Mopey, and Woodie.
Hello.
And Swabers.
Hi, how's it going?
We have been instructed not to swear on this podcast because otherwise Alex needs to edit it out, and it takes time.
It does.
So, Woodie, I'm looking at you.
Okay. I'll be on my best behavior.
Right. So it was a very, very short game week, but fruitful. Lots of points, lots of surprises. Get Justin showing up with a 15-pointer. What do you guys think?
I think you're livid because you dropped him like 2 weeks ago after sticking with him for about 15 weeks.
No. You're talking about James.
Team.
Yeah, your personal
right.
team. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we had... So the FPL Banter team came in with 82 points, which is pretty good. Average points of 57, so that's well above. So we're back to our winning ways. Green arrows everywhere. And
yeah, it's not bad actually.
Yeah, we had Captain Wilson, which I'm going to blame Alex for.
No, I think
definitely
myself and Woodie.
It was me. Yeah, it was both of us, but you definitely didn't say Fernandez. So
yeah, exactly. You said, what was yours? What was your suggestion?
I think it was Cancelo, wasn't it?
I
or
said
was it
Justin,
Sterling?
but you know.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, no, it's a good game. Leno getting a red card for any Leno goalkeepers, owners.
Yeah. I mean,
it was a bit rife with red cards this game week. I mean,
it was, and what a bizarre game week in terms of that. Like two teams having two red cards in 1 week, and I think possibly that I tried to check the record for the fastest red card ever, and every record I found was like for the individual, like how long they'd been on the pitch. In terms of the closest to the beginning of the game, I couldn't really. I struggled to find it, but it's got to be up there.
Just look at Dino's history, mate. He's the one who dishes them out like they're going out of fashion. Yeah. Dino loves the red cards, you know.
He does.
When he pulls it out, you can just tell that this is the best moment of his day, you know.
And I think we should just take a minute for all the Bednarek owners. I know Eric, you're one of them, but he was your third benchy.
Yeah, well, I think it's unfair. Well, first of all, congratulations, Bednarek, for breaking the record there. -7. That's he reached whole new heights or lows. And but you know what's unfair is that he got it. It was taken away, right? It was rescinded.
Rescinded, yeah.
The red card is rescinded for him, but not for Luis.
But not the points. He still remains with his -7. So FPL, I think that's a bit unfair, isn't it?
It is a bit weird because when they say like, at the end of the game week, all points are final, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, really? Because it's literally just a matter of changing some numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, they put them on, they can take them away.
And the guy who triple captained him would now only be on -15 rather than -21.
-14. Yeah. But that's some good maths. Good maths right there.
Quick maths.
Oh, I thought you'd be on -5. Sorry, mate.
So yeah, Wan-Bissaka showing up. Well, I mean, I think if anyone had any Manchester United players, you'd expect them to be a whole raking in the points. Really,
Manchester United looking good, eh? 9-0.
I tell you what, as Eric said in the WhatsApp chat when I woke up that morning, I was like 9-0. Right, that's got to be at least sort of 25 for Fernandez. He must have got a hattie, and then I watched the game, and first I read all of your text, and it's like, oh, Woody's going to wake up and be livid because when he gets to like the 70th minute and he hadn't registered anything.
Well, this is the thing, Woody. I've got a moment where I have to be candid with you. Okay, I can't hold this in any longer. It's been too long. So I actually wrote a text saying, imagine Woody's face when he sees 7-0 or whatever it was at that point, and no Fernandez involvement whatsoever. And I just held off before sending it. And then he started banging it in. I was like, sorry, Alex.
Whoa. Great. Thank you. Thanks for that. But anyway, yeah. So Manchester United, obviously 9-0. Not so good for any Southampton defenders, if you've got any, i.e. Bednarek and any others. Apart from that, I mean, were there any other surprises this game week? I mean, apart from Justin obviously smashing it.
I think
I don't think that's not really a surprise. I mean, the Liverpool game was surprising in how bad it was, as was Spurs, which is sort of not trying to give away too much, which is sort of why we might be avoiding those two teams in our team this week, because they're just
let's talk about something, right? So Liverpool buy centre backs and actually have centre backs as subs, but still play Jordan Henderson.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah,
and you know what? It's not like Jordan Henderson is useless. He's actually all right in the midfield. So now he's not playing there. That's like if the goalkeeper got injured and they put Salah in.
Yeah.
Well, although he might be playing better than he's playing right now, to be fair.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, as you said, like it's moved the whole dynamic around. And with someone like Thiago in the middle, you need like someone like Henderson supporting him, and like someone who knows the system. So you drag Fabinho and Henderson out in the middle. You're making. I think I maybe talked about this last week, or was this to one of the boys? I can't remember. But you're essentially making a weaker defense and a weaker midfield. Whereas if you just played your two sort of younger, inexperienced centre backs, then you've only got a weaker defense. You've still got a strong midfield in front of them. But so I don't know why. Yeah, it's diluting the whole team as opposed to just a part of it. But it's a bit weird. And
when you say you were talking to one of the boys, you're talking about one of your poodles, yeah?
Yeah, they listen. They give good feedback. They've actually got really good.
I feel like you tried this chat with the missus and she was having none of it. So then you were like, "Listen, boys, let's talk Liverpool."
Yeah.
Anyway,
very helpful.
Calvert-Lewin back to no more goal drought for Calvert-Lewin, which is a good news ahead of their trip this game week. So 9 points, pretty good.
Yeah. Let's back to his old self.
I feel like FPL love Gundo too much there.
I said it. There you go.
He rocks up with 1 assist, and they're like, "Oh, quick, give him bonus points, quick."
Yeah, well, as we said before, and Eric agrees with me, Alex doesn't. I think that the system is corrupt, as it is with them like awarding fake assists to people.
Yeah, fantasy assists. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get that.
That's exactly what it is—a freaking fantasy.
No, all I was saying was, from my end, is that they're following the point system that they've set up. And the system itself might be going rogue at times, but it's.
But I'm not even sure they are. I'm not sure, because how does Gundogan rack up 34 BPS from 1 assist? Like, even if he made all of the passes and all of
it's not 1 assist. Where does what he does instead of it? I know,
but how do you make up 25 points? The rest is all scraps. It's like 3 for making all the passes, 6 for making interception. Like, it just doesn't add up.
What doesn't add up
everyone
is
else
how a guy like Antonio gets 2 assists, gets no bonus points.
Or when we're in Ollie Watkins, 3 assists, no BP.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. There's no way that the rest of his game offset the points of the 3 BPs. Just don't even, Alex.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, this isn't.
It's corrupt. It's corrupt and evil.
It's the system. Well, what if the system has got a bit that says we do whatever the we want points? Sorry, Ben.
He's done it again. Jesus. Oh, it's going to take ages. He's got a flight to catch, Eric.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. I'm out of control. Go on.
You
right.
Oh god, it's a bit sweary, this one. After I probably shouldn't have said, can we just try and not?
No,
I mean, he walked into it. I don't know how to expect that.
Yeah. Honestly, you're asking for trouble. Yeah. But I think the big news of the weekend, Jay Lings, he's back, baby.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a very good one.
What was the celebration? Was he dabbing or what was he doing this time?
I don't know. There was some tongue out action. There was a bit of tongue action and some armpits and stuff. He's doing a bit of a dance.
What generation likes the dab? Because I know that my generation is not a fan. I don't know. It's kind of, there's a very, very, maybe it's born in around sort of 95. I think that's the dabbing generation. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Class of 95.
Yeah.
I don't know. But would you consider Lingard in your team?
So we've got a special announcement. Woodie's just hit puberty. So
Stop everyone.
Anyway, Lingard.
Dino goes home in the evening and he goes, baby, did you see my red card today?
No, but I reckon he does. Like when he wakes up in the morning, brushes his teeth, closes the cabinet mirror, gives himself a little splash of aftershave, and then practices his red card drill.
Yeah,
the hand
whipping it out of his back pocket.
Yeah.
Just a couple of warm ups in the mirror.
True.
In the
he didn't. What I noticed was he didn't actually miss the pocket when he went to grab it. He knew exactly where it was. You know what I mean?
He works on that. It's muscle memory.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to your question about Lingard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him another week to see how he does. I think it could be a fluke, but I mean, being a Manchester United supporter, it's nice to see him kind of back to his old self to a certain extent. But yeah, I think he's one to watch for now, from my end.
Yeah.
And
Anything? Any other big news? Any other big news from last game week? Ones to watch.
Well, I was a bit surprised that Everton Leeds ended 2-1. I was hoping for a 5-5 and all that, but that never really sort of transpired. But good win for Everton. But it was a bit of a flat game, I thought. Not that much going on.
Really? I thought it was great. Leeds had so many chances. Like, it could have been 3 or 4-2.
I
Leeds
suppose,
were very unlucky.
Yeah, I suppose when you compare it to Liverpool and Spurs, those were flat games, weren't they? So
yeah. Well, speaking of that and the Tuchel Tombola, what are your thoughts on Chelsea then?
I still think they're pretty average. I mean, Werner is back to his old missing self. I mean, it was great. Like he got an assist, which was a very soft penalty. It was really dire just being an idiot in some ways.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, the amount he misses is actually impressive. If he got points for missing, he'd be like top of the league right now.
If there's a BPS for big chances missed, I believe there is.
There is.
How does he not? He should end up on minus points.
Big time. Also, you know what I think's annoying is scoring a goal. Fair enough, you get a lot of points for it. But scoring a penalty, I don't think should be the same points as scoring a goal because, a guy like Jorginho gets 3 bonus points. He was not the best player on the pitch, and I just don't think it really equates to their performance necessarily.
Well, and also, he scored the winning goal basically, which is again you get loads of points for that.
You get 3 extra for scoring the winning goal.
It's too agricultural, you know what I mean? It's there's not enough common sense applied to it.
Like most of the rules, including red cards and penalties and stuff. We've seemed to have gone backwards. Yeah, seem to have gone back in time. It's like we've elected Trump again.
Maybe there should be a VAR process to FPL. So, people can step in and go, well, whoa. Jorginho 3VP? I don't know about that.
Yeah. You go watch the screen.
Do you see, sorry, I know I'm obsessed. I'm not going to lie. I'm obsessed with Dino. So Dino went to look at the screen and then he leaned in and he did a bit of squinting as if he was assessing. He knew what he was doing. That red card was coming out. You see that?
Well, I'm also pretty sure. I think it was the Dino one. Yeah, well, it was the Bednarek. So it was the second one.
Yeah.
When he went over to the screen, it froze. Like the screen wasn't actually moving. There was one of them. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the Dino one. No, I can't remember which one it was. There was definitely one where they were like, you can see him with his little finger on his earpiece, and they're like, he's at the screen, and it's just there. It's just a picture. It's just a still. So he's like, all right, well, I've got to look busy. So he put his finger to his ear, spoke a bit, and then walked over and sent him off.
The other thing he does, it's a bit like Firmino. He does the no-look red card. He gives it and he just looks away. And he just keeps going with it. Anyway,
I don't care about you anymore.
Should we get the team of the week now?
Yeah, I think we've digressed enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it's my obsession. Right. So, team of the week fits in 100 mil budget. Get it on a wild card if you want. And to be fair, our teams of the week have been pretty good so far. So, if we ignore last week. Anyway,
no, last week was good. As in 2 weeks ago. The week that we just had was pretty good. There's a good shout on Wan-Bissaka, by the way. I actually almost nearly vetoed him.
Yes. So, yes, we need to ignore Woody's vetoes. So
anyway, fall on my sword.
We do need to at some point calculate our points total for the season. Not including all the minuses we take for.
Oh, that's good. That's good of you to volunteer, Eric. Thanks.
Yes. So, every week we do this team, and so who's gonna? Shall I start with defense? I feel like I've not done it for a while, so it seems to be the unpopular bit. But weirdly, defense is where a lot of the points are this season, right?
No, this part of the season, not the beginning, but the second part. The second part of the season is definitely where the points are. Because in my personal team as well, I've got a kind of rubbish defense, which I'm working on restructuring now.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so we're going to play a 3-4-3. And so in goals, we got Mendy, who's playing for Chelsea. And they seem to be... My opinion on Chelsea is they are playing okay at the back. Mendy's actually a good goalkeeper, made some good saves. But they still don't seem to be really looking like scoring many goals. So... I'm happy with having them sort of in defense, but that's about it at this point. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, true.
I mean, they're definitely a lot tighter at the back than they were just like when, obviously, at the start of the season, Chelsea were pretty good in defence, and then they just lost that magic touch. The only thing I'll say is that Thiago looks like he's going to be out for a little spell, which means they've lost all that experience at the back. That being said, Christensen, when he came on against Spurs, actually had a really good game. Granted, Spurs were very average, but I mean, it's not like Sheffield United have a wealth of talent up front. They're going to be much more different to a very boring Spurs. So there's just something to point out. Be aware with Thiago out, it might all fall apart.
Do we know how long for he's going to be out?
I think he's still being assessed, but it looked like a hammy because he sort of like did an overhead clearance thing, and at his age, it didn't come off well.
But we know you have a bit of a man crush on Azpilicueta. So what's your opinion? Is he a starter or not?
Yeah, and I never realized how small he is. Like I was just watching, like it was in a corner, he was jostling for position. He was actually like shorter than everyone.
Would that be a deal breaker? So like, say it was a blind date and he rocked up, would you be like, get out?
Nah, because I'm obviously Big Spoon.
So it'd be perfect.
Yeah, yeah, he's good. I think Tuchel likes the player three at the back, and he likes having his experience at the back, which is really what Frank should have did. I don't know why he was so determined to mess around with it, but yeah, and he'll get forward a little bit on the overlap, depending on who's out there, Reece James or Hudson-Odoi. So I think Azpil is definitely one to have.
Which
good
fixtures coming up
as well.
Have him. Anyway,
well, no, I mean, no. But we got James because of his attacking prowess. But if you're looking for defenders and you've already got James, or you don't think he's nailed, I think Azpil's nailed. James will flop in and out.
Okay. Well, anyway, if we can move on for your love of Caesar. Oh, Caesar this, Caesar that. Okay,
you brought him up, man.
So anyway, defense. We're playing three at the back. So we've got Cancelo. It's a bit of an obvious one. He was rested during the week. He only played, what was it? I feel like Pep
74 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, Pep just made sure there was a cleanie, and then he's like, right, take him off. Yeah, which was nice. We appreciate that. And he was rested the game before, so I think there's a high chance he'll play. But then again, Pep roulette. And then we have Reece James, who had a fantastic game actually yesterday against Spurs. And he deserved his 2 bonus points. And I'm fuming because I've held him for about 10 weeks and he's done nothing. And when I sold him, he shows up. So I reckon he's got something to prove. So that's good. And Justin. So came in with the haul, but I think Justin has been playing quite well. And he fancies himself a striker now because, that goal was a kind of a Vardy-esque goal. You know, he was in that centre forward position. I still don't understand how or why, but it was great.
Yeah, well, I mean, Brendan Rodgers, I don't know if he's always played this way because I can't remember how what it was like at Liverpool so long ago. But at Leicester, he likes his fullbacks to get all the way forward, which is why I always had a bit of a man crush on Castagna as well. And they do get in the box. They spend a lot of time in the box. And Pereira had a goal. He was playing at right back because Castagna's injured. He had a goal disallowed because of a marginal offside. So they do get up and around the box a lot. It's the way they play. And I think Ndidi's back now as well, which means they'll get forward even more. So Justin and or Pereira, I think, would be good.
And this is what we were talking about pre-podcast. It's basically that there are some teams that seem to just play they're good players every week, 90 minutes. So, think of people like Antonio, Soucek, they were getting it. Yeah, Grealish, 90 minutes.
What, Justin's played 90 minutes every game this season. Hasn't even been injured. Crazy.
Diaz, it looks like he gets 90, although he finally got arrested, didn't he?
Yeah, well, there was a weird one. Laporte at left back with Zinchenko and Mendy, I think, were both fit. And he's like up at Laporte at left back. That was kind of weird.
It was weird. Anyway, so finishing off in this defense, on the bench now, we have Cresswell and Dunk. And Cresswell, obviously, one of the top scorers in defense now this season, so it needs no real justification. And Dunk, because Brighton have been playing really well in defense, to be fair to them. I don't think it was a fluke at all that they beat Liverpool, or at least kept a clean sheet. And Dunk has been rocking up with bonus points and cleanies sort of every week for the past 5 weeks. So good on him. So that's the defense.
I think I think with that, if you were thinking of Brighton defenders, and last we forgot to point out, Sanchez is our sub goalkeeper again, the Brighton goalkeeper. Because I just think as well, Burnley with Wood and Barnes both still nursing injuries. That's pretty decent sort of cleaning material. And Burnley generally don't concede much from open play. I think it'll probably be a set piece, which is where someone like Dunk will he's more likely to get on the end of it.
Okay.
It's another. But so actually, I'm not sure why he's our third sub. I think he should be playing.
what is the availability? Do Burnley have Wood?
Burnley always have Wood.
Burnley.
Wood's got hammy and he's at 25%, and Barnes has a knock and he's at 50%. So they've got Vidra and Rodriguez up front. So it's pretty toothless. I mean, Barnes might make it back, but he might be feeling it still a bit. So I don't know.
Okay.
They're not too threatening going forward. I think my money would be on a cleanie for Brighton this weekend.
Okay. Right, who's doing the mids?
About that.
Do you want to do the mids, Woody?
Do you want me to do the mids, Alex?
Well, you've got one of your crushes in there. You know what? Next week we're doing a team of Woody's crushes, okay? And it's gonna have Traore, it's gonna have Bolly, it's gonna have Grealish, Azpili.
You need more than 15, mate. I mean, you need two teams. And we're gonna have to bench boost.
All right, shall I do mids then?
Go on anyhow.
All right, fine. All right, so we have Fernandes, obviously, against Everton. So that should be a good one. I think that's going to be an open one, I'm hoping. I'm seeing maybe a 1-1-2-2 kind of jobby. I don't know if it's going to be a win for either of these. I think it'll be level, personally. What do you guys think?
I think it will be scory. I don't think it'll be cleaners on either side, but
no, it won't be cleaners. No.
I think. I mean, the risk of Fernandes is he's been playing 90 minutes every game, so there is a chance that he'll be rested and maybe come off the bench. And obviously, Pogba didn't play last week. But that being said, he was looking a bit flat before, and even in most of that game against Southampton, he looked a bit flat. But once he got his Peno, he was all then up for it, and he got the 2 assists and was like, being his old sort of flicky, long pass and runs and stuff.
He was being mopey. What he is, I know something about that.
He was.
I can relate.
He was being mopey, and then the goal fired him up again. So I don't know. It could go either way, but I mean, if there's going to be points from United, I think he's going to be involved.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, for sure. Sterling against Liverpool. So we're banking on the fact that he will start with Sterling, because Sterling played 90, right? During the week against Burnley, I believe. Mm-hmm. So
I think
he could he be? No, I mean, I don't think Pep would not start Sterling against Liverpool.
I'm not. Just for the record, I'm not particularly happy about this pick because I prefer a bit of Gundo. Like I said, Gundo will get a BP just for showing up to the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's between Sterling and Gundogan. I mean, I just got to think. I mean, Trent and Robbo, the wide players. I mean, particularly Trent. I mean, he looked absolutely shattered against Brighton. Like, it wasn't the goal. It was, I think, where they hit the post or something or other. Like, there's a bit where
COVID in summer, mate.
Where he just didn't track back. Like the guy, I think it was Trossard, was out the left in the box. Defenders standing him up, and Trent was just sort of jogging back, like, I might get back, and then it's gone out. Like, he just looked like on a different planet. And if Sterling turns up with his A game against that Trent, then there's points galore.
Yeah.
That being said, Gundo through the middle. I don't know. It could go either way. Time will tell. But I think both of them are up.
Who's on penalties at City?
Good Sterling, question. I guess.
It's Gundo or Sterling.
Gundo likes a free kick, and he likes a set piece in general.
But so does Sterling. Remember that one that after KDB went off and he belted it in?
I think he skied it. Okay, I'm thinking of a different.
No, the Peno he skied. against Brighton, I think it was. Oof.
I still think whinging after that game week.
I still think Sterling is good. I still think Sterling should stay in our team. Okay. I think he will deliver against Liverpool.
I think Sterling or Gundogan, you can't go wrong. If you don't like Sterling, go with Gundogan.
And then Grealish against Arsenal at home. Before the recording, I was actually saying that we should probably switch for someone who's on our bench, which is Soucek. But now I'm thinking about it. You've got Bernd Leno that's got a red card, so he won't be playing. You've got David Luiz as well, who's got a red card. He won't be playing. So Arsenal
and Villa do show up against the big teams. I mean, that's assuming Arsenal's the big team. Do we agree with that?
And still in a relegation battle, mate.
Yeah, and I think actually, to be honest, Villa will be kind of gagging for it because they got destroyed by West Ham, really, unfortunately for them. So I think they'll be really raring to go. So actually, I mean, Grealish is a good choice. I'm actually changing my mind. Yeah. And I mean, even contender for captain, but that comes afterwards.
Whoa.
Completely switched, 360, no 180.
You need to take it down a peg, mate.
And then we have Maddison against Wolves. I think everyone's been enjoying a bit of Madders watching, to be honest.
When he's playing well, he is great. Sorry. He is great.
Oh, wow. Alex is going to be here all day, mate.
Anyway.
I think Eric should edit this one.
Anyway, Maddison definitely, when he's playing well, he definitely delivers, and he's a joy to watch. So against Wolves, who did well actually last week. Who did they beat last week? Was it Arsenal? Yeah, it was Arsenal.
You know, they didn't do particularly well. Arsenal played terribly. They did not do well. I wouldn't agree with that.
And they had 9 men for most of the game. I mean, it was a Moutinho screamer, which, that was just a moment of genius.
Yeah.
In terms of actual gameplay and stuff, even when Arsenal were down to 10. In fact, I think even when Arsenal were down to 9 at the end, they had a chance to level it up. Aubameyang sort of swung and missed. So Wolves are still in a bit of trouble.
Yeah. So it's great for Madders basically to take advantage of. Hopefully.
Yeah. You think about it was the dodgy penalty, which was a penalty but not a red, and then a moment of Moutinho magic. That was it. So I think Leicester versus Wolves, good shout.
And then, as mentioned before, we have Soucek on the bench against Fulham. I think he doesn't need much of an introduction.
We're going to regret that.
He's the best bench warmer, I think everyone knows, because I think a lot of people still have him on the bench.
He's one of these players
I've played him on the bench all season.
It is very, very hard to watch him play if you don't have him, because he is all over it and he gets himself into great positions. Seriously. Hey, you know what, Woody? You always bang on about how he only scores in set pieces. I feel like he heard you. He listens to the pod and he goes, you know what? You did that guy wrong. He banged in an amazing goal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I say set pieces before I meant like crosses. He always scored with his head. But it's infuriating because I've been banging his drum since the start of the season, saying how good he was, and I've had him since the start of the season. But he's been on the bench all season, and I realized the other day, why didn't I get him in the draft at the same time? Because no one else had. Honestly, it's a love-hate relationship I have with him.
Would he make your team of crushes? Probably not. No.
Yeah, he's in there. Oh, he's definitely in there.
Too tall.
Yeah.
All right, Woody, your turn to take away the old.
All right. Yeah, 3 up front. I think they kind of it's the mid-budget ones that have been playing really well this season. So we're going for Bamford, Wilson, and Antonio, which I just don't think you can go wrong. You got Bamford, who's in great form, home to Crystal Palace, who are leaky generally. Wilson at home to Southampton, which normally would be a few weeks ago have been a tricky fixture. But Newcastle have found some form, as of Wilson, and Southampton are just riddled with injuries.
The only thing that's missing, I think, is a bit of DCL.
Yeah.
Well, possibly. I mean, but you never know which United's going to turn up. But that could be another option if you didn't fancy one of those 3. But then obviously Antonio, he's on form, keeps delivering, been pretty consistent over the last few weeks, and actually should have got more points, been quite unlucky. And they're playing Fulham.
Yeah, I mean, to go back. Sorry.
And obviously they've got J-Lings supplying behind him. They've got an extra dimension.
But to go back to what you were saying, Eric, with regards to DCL, I think DCL might get 1 goal or an assist, but I think all we've got up front, Bamford, Wilson, and Antonio, they're all going to be, they could potentially, against those opponents, could smash a couple and assist a couple. There's a high potential there. There's a high return with those 3 up front, whilst DCL might score just 1 goal.
He said it now. Watch DCL get a hat-trick.
Yeah, DCL and Soucek. You watch them.
Yeah. All right. And that's a very United thing to do. Win 9-0 and then lose 3-2.
Yeah. Ole out.
All right, captains. What do you guys think? I've already voiced one of my opinions.
Yeah, I think it might be another time for the differentials. I think your Fernandes and your Sterlings and stuff might be a bit too obvious. I think I think any of the last ones we mentioned, Grealish, Maddison, Antonio, Wilson, Bamford, I think go as one of those.
I'm feeling an Antonio.
Ooh.
Okay.
See, I'm feeling, as I said before, a Grealish and a Wilson.
Well, we got. Okay, I'm going to call Antonio. Alex, you're going for who?
Grealish.
Great. Ooh, okay. And so Woody, deciding vote, or maybe not.
I'll go Grealish, just because I think it's time we gave him a shot.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Are we happy with Antonio Vicey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go on then.
All right. There you go. Yeah, you've heard it. There's the team. In terms of players to watch this week, anyone that you'd bring in?
I think we've already mentioned him. Jay Lings, I think, is a classic one if you want to consider going a little bit differential, especially at the moment as he's still cheap. Yeah, 1.9 selected percent, 1.9% selected by. For me, that's the only one that kind of sticks out.
What about Rashford? Rashford seems to be coming back onto the radar. I mean, he's doing pretty well. He seems to be nailed and playing with confidence and all that.
9.5.
Yeah.
Bit
I mean,
pricey.
they've got tricky fixtures coming up. I mean, obviously we play like a wild card every week, but I suppose if you've got to look for fixtures going forward, I mean, Chelsea have got some great fixtures coming up, and of course, the thing we haven't yet mentioned is
double game weeks,
the double game week.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't really talk about it too much because we do our sort of team of the week, but they have been announced. If you're not aware, and so not this week coming up, week after, it's City, Everton, Burnley, and Fulham, and then Leeds have one the week after. So
Leeds, Southampton.
Leeds, Southampton. So if you were thinking of getting guys in, then I'd start maybe thinking about loading up on some of those, like maybe some Burnley defenders, City anywhere. Probably
City is
going
to be. I mean, they're playing on Sunday and Thursday, and that's got rotation written all over it. That'll be one team on Sunday and one on Thursday. I just don't even think it's worth having double City.
All right, your funeral.
Hey, I know Pep.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind for the next few weeks. I think players-wise, as we said, Jane Lingard or Rashford. But again, Rashford for me, in my mind, is 9.5 is a little bit too pricey. Still.
Okay.
Yeah, but also someone with good fixtures coming up, slightly underrated, who's doing well, and just annoying me in the same way Reece James annoys Eric, is Ollie Watkins. Finally getting some goals. Him and Grealish. Every time I look at a Villa game, it's like Watkins, Grealish, Watkins. Yeah, they're always recently they're the new Kane and Son.
Yep. Okay, well that's it. That is our team of the week and our podcast, and we'll be back basically before the next game week, which is a normal game week for once, which is nice. So it's on Saturday it starts. So best luck everyone, and see you next week.
Ciao.